Hi again, General Maths students. In this video we're going to use the CASIO ClassPad 400 to examine an arithmetic series. You may have come from another video in which we were looking at arithmetic series, so that is the sum of a sequence. So there are a couple of different options available to us on the CASIO ClassPad. I'm going to explore one that is very similar to what was completed on the TI Inspire in that video I referred to, but also we have at our disposal the sequence function on the Casio, so I'm going to look at that too. So we've got two ways of solving this problem. So first off, just going to use the algebra solver. So we tap main and we just have this blank screen here, and we're going to go and put our equation into this. So it's the same as the equation from the previous video. If you're not sure of the background on this, go ahead and have a look at that video and then pick up with this one afterwards. But to start off with, we're going to go to interactive. All right, this isn't the way you have to do it, but it's the way I show, because this way, if we use the interactive menu, the ClassPad will put all the commas and the little notation we need for the algebra solver in the right spots for us. So I think it's a good idea to use this one, this menu, interactive. We're going to go interactive, advanced, and solve. So we can access this function through the other menu, the action menu, but we don't get this screen here where all the variables are set up for us and all that sort of stuff. It's quite simple. So let's type in our equation. So we've got 159 equals, and then we're going to type in the x. Now in the equation that we've been writing down, and we generally use n for the number of terms in a sequence, okay, but we have the variable x down here, so we're just going to substitute x for n. You can change this variable here to n and put n's if you want, that's okay, but I'm just going to stick with x this time. So I'm going to tap on the keyboard down here to the ABC so I can see the letters. Okay, I'm going to go x divided by 2 and then times, and then we get a bracket, and we've got 2 times 10.5, so I'm just inputting this equation, plus bracket, so once again x rather than n this time, x take 1, close the bracket, and then we multiply that by 0.5. So if you're not familiar with why we have this particular equation, please just go ahead and watch the previous video. Okay, and close the bracket there, and then we say OK to that, and it gives us our solutions. So we have two options here, x equals negative 53 and x equals 12. Of course, the negative 53, we're going to discard that one, ignore that. The answer is that the number of terms to add up to 159 for this sequence, we need 12 terms. We can't have a negative number of terms in this context. So x is equal to 12, or n rather is equal to 12. 12 terms to add to 159. Right, now let's examine the sequence part of the calculator to do this. So we go back to tap the menu button and go across, slide across to the second screen for menu, and we go into sequence. Make sure you've got the explicit tab highlighted. Now we need to know the sequence rule, in fact, for this. So I'm going to go through that situation there real quick. Okay, so I'll just get rid of all that stuff. So now we don't actually have the sequence rule yet, but if you're going to use this part of the calculator, you would need to have that, of course. So I'll just quickly determine that sequence rule. Okay, so the first term in this sequence is A is 10.5, and the common difference is plus 0.5 or positive 0.5. Actually, you might want to pause the video at this stage and try and work out the sequence rule just for practice. Remember that we put these particular values in at the right spots, and then we simplify the rule. So if you want to do that, pause the video, I'll give you a moment to do that, and then we can pick up where we left off. Okay, so I'll go through that process now and determine the sequence rule. So Tn equals, okay, A is 10.5, and we've got n take 1 times 0.5, which gives us 10.5 when we expand these brackets here, 0.5n minus 0.5. Oops, forgot to put the n there. Okay, that's better. And then this 10.5 and the 0.5, we can bring those together as like terms. So 10.5 take 0.5 is 10. So the final, or the sequence rule, simplified sequence rule, is t equals 0.5n plus 10. Okay, so we need to have that information for this section of the calculator. Okay, let's go on with it then. So we're going to put this sequence rule in. It's 0.5n plus 10. We tick that box and push execute. Oh, no, we don't. We push this, tap this button up here to get a list. Okay, so I'm tapping that one there. Now, at the moment, we can see the sequence coming down the side here. If yours doesn't go as far as mine does, then, as discussed in a previous video, you want to tap on this button here and change those numbers so that you've got enough terms in the sequence. I say okay to that. Now, the other thing is I cannot see the sum of the sequence anywhere here. I can only see the sequence. So what we'll do is we'll tap this button. Oops, not that one. Beg your pardon. Get that back. Oops, bear with me. Okay, so we're going to tap this diamond button here. There. And we go sigma display here. We want this one here. Tap that and we say on. So that means the sum of. So if we tap that, tap the on button. So just in case you missed that, because it got a little bit confused for a moment, push the wrong button. So we're back up here with the equations explicit, and we tap this diamond and we want that sigma display there, and we tap that on. Now that'll stay on permanently now. And you can see, in fact, it's popped up after I push this button again. The sum of the sequence is shown down the side here. So we're going to go and look until we find 159. There he is there. And as before, that lines up with the 12th term of the sequence. So that's the other option for looking at these sequences. Other than the algebra solver, you can use this dedicated sequence function on the Casio. Thanks for watching, everyone.